Hi, I'm Chujie. I'm very glad to share something about my research on the teacher agency of novice online language teachers. The study originated from my own teaching experience. A few years ago, I conducted my very first online sessions with a single learner from New Zealand. Initially, I thought that online one-to-one teaching would be easier compared to classroom teaching. However, I encountered many unexpected incidents. I still remember one session that took place between Christmas and the Chinese New Year. I prepared some questions about gifts, and I thought that would be a great opportunity to introduce some new words and phrases related to this topic. However, my learner told me that she didn't give presents. At that time, I had to make a quick decision. If you were me, what would you do? Would you stick to your well-designed teaching plan, even if it wasn't closely related to your learner's real life? Or would you choose to take some risks, to follow the path of the learner's answer and to potentially face more unexpected incidents? It was during that moment that I realized teaching in this context could be very complex, as teachers have to make lots of choices while dealing with contingencies. These choices and actions of teachers are linked to teacher agency. In order to investigate teacher agency, I invited 4 Chinese language teachers to participate in this study. Since all of them were new to this online one-to-one teaching context, I organized the 4 workshops in which they observed online teaching recordings and engaged in group discussions about how to teach online. Then each teacher was paired up with one adult Chinese language learner from New Zealand, and they conducted teaching sessions. In this study, I adopted an ecological understanding of agency, which emphasized the interplay between agents and their environment. The data were collected through teaching recordings and interviews. Although I adopted a case study approach, which allowed me to gain a deep understanding of how teacher agency developed over time in each case, I was able to identify some common themes across 4 cases. For instance, all the teachers were sensitive to power relations. In Chinese tradition, the youngers are expected to show respect to the older, which made it challenging for the teachers to establish their teacher authority because they were much younger than their learners. Additionally, the learners' professional identities influence the teacher's perception and interpretation of the teaching situations, which impacted their pedagogical decisions. Moreover, the teacher's relationships with the learners and peer teachers also enabled or constrained their actions. The study revealed how the factor at macro social cultural level directly influence the moment-to-moment interactions at the micro level of teaching. And finally, I offered some suggestions for the teacher training programs in the conclusion part of my thesis. Okay, thank you very much for listening.